Of course,
Look,
folklore
man.
legend of the angel is also steeped in the whole, if you chase the angel, you're probably going to end up dead.
I will relay that information as well.
It's less of a danger and more of a foolish journey.
Just like Kuzon's like, I'm not as enthusiastic about the death part, I have to say. Is this a computer terminal here?
Yes.
Or what's this? I'm gonna get me in there. I'm gonna use the lieutenant's ID and try to see what I can access from here.
You log in and you can access power, the lockdown, hydroponics, internal orders, and also shipping manifests.
Internal order, is that just like is that for the machinery and stuff?
Yes, it's for machines.
Oh, fancy. I'm going to go in. I assume all of our comm units have like a signature, right?
Yes.
Or like, I'm gonna mark that. I'm gonna enter in that information, and I'm gonna give them full clearance.
Okay.
So
everybody has
the robots
clearance
and stuff.
All right.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna check out the shipping manifests.
The shipping manifests include, of course, a load of information on shipping out the ore, a lot of information on how much stuff they got, what they're buying, equipment-wise, but they also have the readings of what they found. And
okay,
the issue is that firstly the orders say we found something strange, catalogued. Someone suggested we name it the Angel. And then it starts going, as it's documented, each thing it found, you just see the angel, the angel, the angel, the angel, the angel, like multiple times.
So they found a substance that they wanted to dub the Angel. Just to make sure I had that right.
They found something.
Yeah, they wanted to dub the Angel.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll kind of like relay kind of what I'm seeing here. It's like it looks like they found something that drove them nuts, and they cling on to this angel piece of cult history here.
Are we ruling out literal angels? Is that?
I mean, if there's a fucking angel on this ship, they're not benevolent.
Apparently, there is also, before this point, it mentions that analysis of what they found has been sent to the medic on the ship, the doctor.
The doctor.
Yes, we're good.
Do they have like a chief medical or like chief science advisor and stuff, and then what they found went to the medic?
Essentially, it was the chief medical officer. That's what his official title is, but he's like the doctor. He's just informal the doctor on the notes.
Yeah, but what I mean is if I see who has these roles, right?
Oh yeah.
And is there? So they're the chief medical officer / doctor, but like, so what? But there was other roles that could have processed this if it was like an artifact or like ore.
Yeah. There's of course an officer for ore inspection. There is loads of people that meant to analyze anything they find, such as artifacts and like. Yeah. This, however, specifically went to the medical officer.
Prava's gonna like a motion to Kuzon to give him the data pad.
Take it.
Prava picks up the data pad and he goes to the email application and he looks through the contacts to try and find like doctor something. Or like
that would be, as I mentioned before, chief medical officer, Dr. I believe it was Hings.
Hings, cool. Prava's gonna send an email to that person and be like, hey,
no, what are you doing?
You can't see what he's doing, Kuzon. You just see him typing on the pad. Like,
He's gonna be like, hey, we got your distress signal. We're a passing ship. We're wondering what's happening here. We found a body. We're concerned about your safety. Please respond if you are okay. And then he sends.
Almost immediately, you hear ding as you seem to get something back.
Okay, what is it? Let's see.
As you look into the data pad, you see you must help me. The angel is not to be listened to.
Yeah.
We must have hope. Do not listen to the whispers.
I was
Save
just like,
me.
yeah, cool. We're in the room with all the plants. Where do we head from here? Send.
You get another ping, and it's the exact same email as before.
Prava sends the exact same cool. We're in the room with all the plants.
Ping.
Kuzon like looks and it's like you realize that's an auto, right?
I mean, I hope it wasn't, but I'm gonna have to say I suspect that it is now.
After you've sent 3 emails to it. I will see if I can find out the location of his office using the system here. Like look up a map.
Right, so essentially, as you're looking up a map, you can tell that his office is right below you. 1 second, let me just... Can you see this?
Yeah.
That's where his office is located. His room is located up in this direction. Well, of course, it was marked as the captain's room, but then got rebranded to his room. So...
Yeah, you really took charge of everything. I'll say it's like you guys all have total clearance on the ship. There shouldn't be any doors or like any robots that'll contradict you here.
As soon as he says that,
I mentioned
Prava walks up to this door and opens it.
Kuzon considers going back in and just remove his access.
I love when people don't listen to Kuzon. He like about to take away their freedoms that he gave them just a moment ago.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
See, the problem is that there was a bunch of rooms with plants. And Prava was like, okay, we're in a second room with plants. Can you guide us from here?
So you just emailed him again?
You get the same thing back.
I remembering the email that the data pad is received. You get another notification on the notepad there, Prava. And it's just from Kuzon, says, "You're being a fucking idiot." Signed, Kuzon.
Oh my god.
Why don't you coming up with any ideas for how to navigate this place?
I know where to go. His bedroom's up here. I do have it. Here's the map.
By all means, then lead the way.
1
I
second.
mean, I am. It's like, don't you dare tell Kuzon that he's not the ideas man. Is that like a window?
As you turn around the corner, yes, there is a window, and you can actually see outside in the communications dish.
Ooh. Alright, I think we have to... Kuzon's just kind of like pushes his face up against the glass, looking outside for a moment before moving on.
It is a very calm space this evening. Not too much around.
The space weather is nice this evening.
Yes, the space weather. No cosmic storms, no creatures outside trying to eat valuable objects. Nice day today.
Yeah, and any nice asteroids with interesting shapes?
There is that Aiden looking one you mentioned before.
Hey, look, it's Facey.
It's orbiting alongside this place. All right, we gotta take point. I'm afraid of what's in this next door. Who wants to stand in front of me?
Well, I can see if I can hear anything at the other side of this door. So I'm assuming we're in an actual like environment right now, right? Like we have breathable air.
Yes, you can remove your helmet and breathe air, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna take off my environmental protections, remove my helmet, and then try to use my senses of smell and hearing to see if there's anybody or anything on the other side.
Okay, do you roll perception?
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
I might have seen him. Oh no.
As you listen on the other side, you hear Thiveron. Help.
Like my ears perk up immediately. Like somebody, do I recognize the voice?
Yes, it's an old friend, an old elven friend of yours.
I kick the door open. I enter.
1 second.
I assume I didn't hear that voice.
Yes, you
Or
did
did
not
I
hear
hear
that
that?
voice.
I'm just like Kuzon's just like looking at you in disbelief as you kick the door down, and in his mind he's just like, my teammate.
Yeah,
Mad.
normally cautious. Like Thiveron barrels into this door. He's like, "Alaria, how are
Prava
you?"
looks super enthusiastic about this development. Yeah, what's going on?
The room is empty.
Did that person get plowed by an escape pod?
Like, it looks like it. I love these roll 20 dead bodies. I'm gonna start using detect magic. Like, Thiveron is visibly shaken. Like he's like quaking. He's just scanning everything for magic. He does not believe what he just heard.
As you scan the area for magic, there is a very, very strong feeling of magic from over here.
So I know it's an item. Can I see from this viewing platform what it might be? Like I said, it looks like a viewing platform.
It looks, yes, you can. It does. It's a window. It does look like almost like a body bag.
Wait, what's that out there?
I saw that get put down in the bottom. I was like, I don't like this. What is this thing with the orange border?
So is this some kind of like observation room that we're in right now? Some sort of like
Yes,
security
it seems
room?
like overview of the station. And Prava, you hear a voice from behind the hallway. You hear, "My friend."
Cole? You're here?
Oh my god, everybody's going crazy.
Prava, I am
Prava's gonna-
inside.
Inside what? Inside what? Where?
Your attention is drawn as the voice vanishes for a moment, and only you can see Cole standing here. And he's pointing down towards this object. It's like pointing down towards the body bag. They captured me, Prava. Help me.
I'm coming to get you, buddy. How do I get
What?
into that room?
What is happening?
Cole's in there, in
Prava.
that bag. Prava points over to the body bag. He's communicating with me telepathically.
I
Wait,
believe
who is
we
that?
may be hallucinating, Prava, if you're hearing one voice and I'm hearing another.
But listen, I can't just assume that's true. We have to check.
I agree, but we should be cautious.
They're trying to
I
stop
could-
you, Prava. Help me soon. And then with that, you just see like almost Solaran vanishing into this area, just like gravity.
I mean,
well,
if it suits you guys, I could just remove the gravity control and throw that thing into vacuum of space.
My friend is in there. Let's not do that.
Your friend's definitely not in there. And even if he was, I don't like him very much.
Robert does not know what to say to that. He's just kind of like, but you're my friend and he's my friend. That makes you friends.
Thiveron looks like he's kind of collected himself now. He's using the voice of dead memories that I would wish permanently buried. Whatever it is, I need to deal with it. And then he's going to start walking over this way. Realizing that he's likely hallucinating, now he's this is personal. Like he's taking personal offense to this now.
I'll follow, but Kuzon doesn't. I was tempted to just stay in the room there.
Oh,
Just,
we should probably
watch.
check these rooms on the way too to see if there's anyone else stuck inside.
Kuzon, could you roll me perception?
Perception.
Yes.
Okay.
No.
You are unable to keep yourself from peering out the window as you're moving along, and as you do, you see somebody out there.
Oh.
Enza.
Oh, fuck this.
And as you blink to just rub your eyes, she's gone. As you open that door, 1 second.
Yeah. While everyone's backs were facing away from Prava, Prava just kind of dips into this room.
Kuzon is just like, I want to go. Let's leave.
And he turns around and Prava's not there.
Oh, fuck's sakes.
As you come inside, you see somebody in a white space uniform lying motionless on the bed.
Prava here, we heard your distress signal. Are you the doctor or some other poor fool who got stuck here?
They don't seem to be responding. No, there's no sign of blood.
Prava shakes the shoulder of this prone person.
They are unnaturally stiff. Like, it's like moving a statue, like back and forth. Kuzon, as you walk in, you could make an engineering check, or if Prava, you have if you have engineering, you can roll as well.
I'm very firmly not trained in engineering.
Okay, so Kuzon, as you come in, this person's armor has put them into stasis.
I'll hop up and I'll just be like, the armor's locked. They're in some form of wait, so you mean stasis as in like life preserving, like stasis?
Essentially.
Yeah, they're in a life preservation stasis.
And of course, given the red X on the back of his suit, you can probably assume this may be the good doctor.
Well, can we just deactivate the stasis and talk to them?
We can just leave them in stasis. We don't have to talk to the crazy doctor who sends out scary emails.
Well, we should
Yeah,
let them
His
out.
wounds are visible. If you are worried about undoing the stasis, I can heal him when we bring him out.
I'm not as concerned about the state of his body as in the state of his mind.
Prava's already fiddling with the suit, trying to break.
Oh my god! Cut this out. You can't do this. You have to listen.
Prava, let's try him first. I understand your concern, but we need to protect our own lives first.
You're crazy. You're gonna get us all killed.
Well,
Prava's that guy in the horror movie.
So, Prava, do you keep fiddling with the, like, he's got a device on his arm?
Both of them kind of like warned me off, so I'm gonna stop. Like, I'm not gonna, blatantly go against their wishes. Like, but like, look, we're not leaving this person to die here.
I agree.
We can take the armor with us when we leave. We just should not. We should not activate him before we figured out what's here.
All right.
I'm gonna go through. Does he have his computer or whatever sitting around in here?
He doesn't have his computer. There is a drawer open next to the bed, and it does seem to contain a few bits and pieces, but they seem to not belong to him, since they're pictures and
All right.
identification of old captain.
I want to check out this guy's office before we attempt to open him up. I want to be armed with some of the information on what he's been looking at before we talk.
So you want to go down to the medical ward, which would be here.
Yeah, if you ask me, that airlock has been sitting here for at least a week without being touched. it could be fine for another few minutes. We need to see what this guy has been studying. It's probably what's in that body bag, if I was to have to guess. And then once we've looked at it, we'll look at through his reports. We'll see if he took any pictures, and then see if it matches up. And you guys can go do your base magic or whatever on it.
Prava sits in the corner. He's like, okay, just do your stuff then.
I'll move out. I'm gonna move the medical bay.
Okay, one moment.
And you can tell like Kuzon just wants out of here. He's just like, my teammates are going crazy, and then shit now. And then he doesn't say it or like verbalize it, but in his mind he's like, and now I'm going crazy. And this is like his attempts to grasp grasp reality and just be like, nope.
This is as much reality as I'm gonna need.
Environmental protection's back on.
Yeah.
This is what you see.
Or we're going down here, silly.
Oh.
Oh, it's
Oh,
too
my friend's up in that bag up there, though. I want to get into that bag up there with my friend in it.
But I told you I wanted to go through what the medic researched before we open the bag, because it's probably what's in the bag.
Yeah, let's go on.
I'm just Kuzon's just like, nope, give me this. What's here?
While Kuzon's like going through the medical room, Prava's just gonna close his eyes and kind of like reach out with his psychic senses again, and he's gonna see if he can find Cole's mind, or if he can find the doctor's mind, or any other minds that are open.
Roll perception. Would it be perception for any telekinetic?
Well, if he's technically using telepathic message, it's up to your discretion.
Well, no, it's not telepathy. It's a racial telepathy. It's like a.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I would have to say. Right.
Like if this angel thing was communicating with people's minds, would probably be able to like.
As you start to check over, you start to sense past all the scrambling and. No, that's not right. Prava, I'm here. And no, it's not correct. That can't be right. He's not... That's not Cole. Prava,
Hi.
you are currently, well, having a bit of a crisis here. Clearly these people want to stop you from getting to Cole. There's a scalpel on the table. I would like you to make an attack against Thiveron.
I don't like this.
This 1d20, should I add my modifier?
I just make a standard attack. Like, okay. Thiveron, does that make it past your AC?
Yeah, I'm 5-footed.
So essentially,
He's trusting.
you can see, like, Prava grab the scalpel and suddenly twist around and dig it into your arm for...
You're trying to keep me from him. You're wasting my time.
It deals 1 damage to you. with a small improvised scalpel. You can see you like...
Prava, what are you doing? I'm trying to help you.
I'm Kuzon's just gonna like, he's caught by surprise, literally gonna like spin around in the swivel chair and then just like tackle you. Or I guess not tackle you so much as like cling on to you and stop try to make you drop the scalpel, I guess. What are you doing, you crazy bastard?
He's telling me that you're trying to stop me from finding him.
By the way, Prava, you can roll willpower at this point.
Oh, I'm good at that. No, I'm not, apparently.
while your body may be acting without you, Prava, your mind is fighting against something. It seems like you may have dipped a little too far into whatever psychic network that may be here.
So I'm getting a sense of like multiple minds, because that's very confusing. Like it's like listening to multiple people at once.
Essentially, it's as if, think of it like a radio that's you're constantly spinning stations. It's like one voice, another voice, one voice, another voice, one voice, another voice. It's like screaming in your mind. However, in the physical world, it seems like Prava's still panicking against you, Kuzon.
I'm just going to, while I'm like clinging onto it, I'm gonna grasp the zip stick and try to zap him with it. Like, it's not a very powerful zap, but just to like, fucking knock out of it!
Prava, in your, like, I'm not gonna completely control your character, what in character panicking Prava, would he have defended himself against the zip stick, or would he be constantly trying to get Kuzon off of him and ignoring it?
When he sees the zip stick coming around, he kind of tries to like spin around and fling Kuzon off of him.
Ooh.
Trying to like throw him towards where Thiveron is.
Is that opposed athletics for combat grapples, I believe.
Well,
Can I mean, I'll roll athletics if I need to. I was gonna ask if I could roll acrobatics, but actually, I'm almost as good at athletics as acrobatics. It doesn't matter.
you're probably gonna beat a 6. So
Right, so Kuzon, you essentially have pinned him down. Thiveron, what are you doing? Digging the scalpel out of your arm, or?
No, I just take the butt end of my spear and put it against Prava's head when like he hits the ground, just to kind of like hold him there.
Alright, so you're getting aid. So Kuzon, I'm going to say you're going to have a chance at zapping him. Please make an attack.
It's not a very powerful zap. It's just like a light zap.
Yeah, I mean,
Just to
deals
try and
1
knock him out of
damage.
it. Yeah, but like it's something to like, it's like getting like splashed in the face with water.
That's
I'm not gonna do it.
That's not an attack. You still add your normal attack modifiers to it.
Well, I don't have a bonus to strength, so I think it's like, I think I have plus. So I think that it only gets to like 10, maybe 9 with my strength bonus.
Let me check. What's your
it's
flat
not like
footing?
a.
I gotta check.
This
1,
game
2.
is like a BAB equivalent, doesn't it? Isn't my +3 from just like my class levels?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Well, I only get, so engineers get like a quarter or a half a thing a level.
If you get 1
like,
point,
non-soldier classes
because he
get it.
doesn't have his dex and stuff right now, and he's held down by Thiveron. So if I think you've at least reached a 10 on the attack. So you do hit
Okay.
him. Prava, take 1 damage.
Well, hold on. If I'm only flat-footed, like, is this physical? 'Cause
It's energy due to its
energy. Okay, so I have 14 AC down to 12 when I'm flat-footed.
Okay, so you didn't hit him.
You get a bonus while you're grappling somebody in melee, right?
I believe so. 1 second.
Not that I don't want this attack to hit, but
Yeah, okay, so it is +2, that's +1. I'll say with Thiveron holding him down as well.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's hit. So yes, he deals 1 damage to you, and you may make another willpower save if you desire,
Yeah, I definitely desire.
or give in to the whispers of the angel.
Someday I'll give in to whispers, but these are not the whispers.
Right. Due
Maybe
to
they
the
are.
DC has been severely decreased by by Kuzon shocking you, which is hilarious. Essentially, brother, you suddenly snap back, and Kuzon's on top of you, and everyone's holding you down with his end of his spear.
Do I remember anything that I did, or is it just like I'm waking up from a nap and suddenly everyone's on top of me?
It's like a nightmare, you know, sort of that dream thing. It's like you know you did something in that dream-like state, but you can't grasp onto it.
Whew, that was one heck of a nap. What's going on, guys?
Is that what you say while I'm like on your back, like holding your hands?
It takes a sec for me to take assessment of the situation, but hey, what's going on? What happened while I was asleep?
I'm just like giving you just like a look, and it's like you just dug a scalpel into Thiveron's arm.
At this point, Thiveron is currently ripping that scalpel back out and throwing it back on the table.
I did. Oh, I'm sorry, Thiveron. I don't know what came. I was reaching out with my telepathic sense. I touched a few minds, and all of a sudden, I was out.
You should be more careful with the psychic entities you interact with, especially when you know they're using the voice of your friends against you.
No, I just thought it'd be safer to communicate and not just be a one-way. Sorry, guys.
Unfortunately, you've opened your mind to that manipulation. You should not do that again.
I won't.
Thiveron is intentionally kind of looking down at you as if he's lecturing you.
Naughty.
I just I'll slowly Kuzon's still holding, but slowly steps off, just cautiously, anticipating that you're gonna try to get up and start acting crazy again, and then he'll get off. And it's just Prava, that you scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I would have been scared too if a friend just turned on me like that. I don't know if you'll ever be able to trust me again. I'm so sorry, guys.
No, let's bandage up the cut. It's okay. Let's just get to the bottom of what's happening here. It's clear that whatever happened to the crew just happened to you a moment ago.
Yeah, must be some kind of strong, compelling force. I don't think Cole's actually here, guys.
I was explaining to you.
I'm going to hop on this computer here. Can I get and every few seconds Kuzon's glancing behind him back at Prava, and then is working on the computer. At this point he's kind of tweaked. And I'm going to see if I can access any research notes from the doctor or anything like that about something they received recently.
Okay, roll me computers.
Get me in there.
Ooh. You are able to access the full extravagancy of his computers. Now, of course, there's medical records and of different people on board, their names and describing, features and identifying marks. But when it comes to what's known as the Angel, it says they have taken distinctive DNA from the thing they found. It seems like what they found was organic in a way, but person-shaped. Hence the described of the Angel. As they've been studying, the doctor seems to slowly come to realization that the relation between this creature and the strange happenings on the station are linked. They seem to have a mind-affecting thing that has people gain extreme paranoia, see visions and hallucinations, and not to mention turn on each other, and after that, suicide. The notes, of course, become less and less prominent as he's mentioning he's setting the robots to essentially keep everybody else alive and not distressed in order to give people hope. And he sent out a distress signal to get them all off the station.
Well, that's the long and short of it.
Wait, so everyone but the doctor's already gone, or? Well, and the lieutenant, obviously.
Can I take a mysticism check to kind of identify any any supernatural creatures that would be capable of something like this? I mean, I know it's kind of a stretch because there's a lot of spooky stuff that can make people go insane and start killing each other and then themselves. But 20.
You know that this is definitely the domain of darker creatures, not exactly demons or anything like this. This doesn't seem demon-like. After all, demons prefer their hosts and the like alive. Whatever this is more akin to a horror, an abomination, so to speak. If you know what I mean, since, well...
An aberration?
Yes. Essentially, it's something that shouldn't really or exist.
We are dealing with some sort of aberration. This is not the work of angels or even demons. Demons normally have objectives in mind, not wanton slaughter.
Or at least
Kuzon,
planned wanton slaughter. Sorry.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant. But just like slaughter for the sake of slaughter. Like,
Yeah.
they usually have a goal in mind.
And so this is
Kuzon just like turns around and sorry, I didn't mean to talk away there, but he's just like, you did it. You made me superstitious. All right, what do we do?
Well, Thiveron's first objective has been cleared. Well, we are in extreme danger while here, but if we let it stay, it will be a danger to anybody else it reaches out to. So
But
we should deal with it.
the people that are here and affected by it out, will they be released from its influence, or?
That depends on exactly what we are dealing with. The nature of aberrations is one of great possibility. They are anomalies in the universe that should not exist. They defy logic. And as a result, it is difficult to predict what their powers are.
So I guess we can finish checking out these other rooms, much to my displeasure, and we can get the hell out of here.
I'm surprised that you don't want to like loot all the metal and other precious resources here. You seem like the kind of guy who would take this as an opportunity for some looting.
When there's alien space magic, and after what I just saw, no. I have self-preservation.
So
Do you suggest that whatever this creature is, we need to destroy it?
yeah, this is my home turf. I can't leave something wandering around this. What if I want to come back to this asteroid field someday?
Fine. I'll have to defer to you on how to get rid of it there, Thiveron. We'll have to take a look at what else is here. And Kuzon, like, in a hurry, he's just like moving with somebody who just like really This is a cool area though. I like this. So there's no like, oh, was there anything in here before I march all the way across the room?
Now you ask. No, it seems rather clean, actually. Very nice. This is quite a nice hangout place. It's got a beautiful view of the stars outside of a window, flowers around a corner, and you can see the sign above the door in front of you says bedrooms. Prava, are you following after him?
Yeah, I'll come along.
Are you all like sad and like...
Well, yeah, he's just like really like withdrawn now, and he doesn't want to cause problems for anyone. So he's just literally gonna be 10 feet behind Kuzon at all times, just kind of looking at the ground.
Oh, and I feel bad.
I'll very, very cautiously like edge open this door and peer inside.
Pardon me.
Welcome back.
Oh, hey, we gonna
See-
play some tennis?
You can see a line of rooms as you open this door.
So these are all closed doors, right?
They're all closed, but yeah, I'm going to assume that you can just peek in and take a look. They seem like perfectly fine.
So I don't spot anybody in any of these rooms?
Nope.
Oof. I don't like that. I will spend a moment and I'll move in, glancing, seeing if anybody's there. And on my way out, I am going to hop into their cupboards and see if I can get a piece of identifying information, like a dog tag or something that I can use to mark them as missing. If that makes any sense?
They do seem to have a few items and the picture frames, data pads, contain general personal information. As you do look through them, of course, this one here seems stuck. So it does need a little bit of force. Could you roll athletics if you want to open it?
Athletics. To be honest, if it gave me any trouble and I couldn't just open it, I would just use my laser drill to bust it open.
Understood.
Yeah, because Kuzon's not at this point. Kuzon's not treating this like a bedroom that he has to preserve the state of. He's like, yeah, I'll ruin this person's cupboard. You know what I mean?
As you're bringing the thing down towards the cupboard, and you're gonna burn it open, right?
Yeah, basically, if it's stuck, I'm just gonna wedge a hole into it. And is it locked shut, or is it
as you're going down and you're starting it up to cut between, because it's two separate doors that open wide like the other ones.
Okay.
And you suddenly get the scent, the smell of cooking meat and sizzling, and as you blink once, suddenly you're cutting into a body that was laying up against the cupboard.
You just they're from where you're standing in the hallway. You just see
kind of
on fucking backpedaling, skidding across the ground into this cupboard.
Prava doesn't notice the bodies appear because he's sitting at this table staring outside, waiting for Kuzon to finish in the rooms.
So do all these bodies just suddenly come into
focus? Yes.
our perceptions?
You can see your bloody footprints going from one of the bodies that you had to climb over in order to get into this room.
Kuzon's basically hyperventilating against this wall real quick.
Kuzon, are you oh.
You just see a burn wound in this guy is I don't know where on his body, and then Kuzon just staring at it with his eyes bugged open.
What's wrong, Kuzon? You seem to be hyperventilating.
I'm just gonna march over here and throw up.
Is there a threat? Are you on fire?
No, it's just the worst experience of my life. Let's go. It's fine.
Sometimes I love being blind.
So why does it suddenly smell like blood in here?
Why does it smell like burning human flesh?
That is no. I have a very myself. I have a very visceral reaction to what you just described to me.
I'm
that
so
fucked
sorry.
with me. I mean, it's fine, but it fucked with me, and I'm like, wait. And I was trying to think, wait, is there a body shoved into this cabinet? And then the body showed up, fuck me. I've just been sitting there lasering into it the whole time.
I'm so sorry. I hope I didn't get scared out.
No, it's good. It's perfect. Are there any cameras here?
There were cameras for the up above in the observation room. Just basically general cameras peering down these hallways and the like.
Okay, I'll not spend the time reviewing them, but I will if I can access this. I assume I have the access. I'm just gonna if there's any footage of it, I'm gonna download it to make sure that I have it for evidence in case this blows up. I'm just gonna sheepishly look back at Thiveron and be like, Thiveron, wanna come help me open
Yes.
these doors?
I don't understand how I could help you open doors. Aren't you the one with the laser drill?
Kuzon doesn't really have anything to say to that. He just looks distressed.
Alright, I'm gonna... 1 second. There we go. As you open, it seems to be a small hold for personal belongings and another bathroom.
I'm gonna look through the personal belongings, see if I can find any clues as to what the aberration itself might be trying to accomplish.
As you start looking around, you do see... sorry. You do start to feel something. Roll me perception.
26.
Bring out what seems to be an old paper notepad. Rather rare these days, given data pads and how secure they are. You can't really, read anything on it though.
Can I feel the pressing on it?
Yeah, you can feel, if you take off the glove of your suit, you can feel like the words, if that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
So essentially you're going down the page, slowly putting it down, and it seems like this was the journal of the captain. Some apparent reason he kept this here. It seems like he was talking about the angel, of course, after he found it. It goes on maddening scribbles, but the gist of it is he's talking about how it's scared, how it's paranoid what's going to happen, and how he must save it, even if it means turning against the crew. And given the records that you got before, that didn't turn out so well.
Well, I'm going to hand it to Kuzon. I believe it's safe to say that it might be malintent in its manipulation of people's minds at this point.
I guess here's my question: does everybody here have like similar wounds to the guy that had a hole punched into his chest? Like, does it look like that it would have been like a blunt instrument that killed these people rather than like them necessarily turning on each other?
If you look around, you could probably outright see that these wounds are different. For instance, it looks like every single person here, apart from the one armed in more militaristic armor and the gun, have been shot.
Okay. So they did, like, it's apparent here that they were.
Yeah, it seems like these ones, everybody around died because of an armed person.
That leaves us one more room. It leaves us one more. Prava, are you just like sitting there like staring
Oh
out?
yeah, no,
the window?
he's like super moody, staring out the window like, I'm a danger to everybody. Myself, those around me.
Prava, what have I done?
Prava.
I'll walk up to Prava and hand him the notebook. Read through this,
Mhm.
and you'll know that it's
Oh,
not you.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
danger.
Alright. And he starts kind of flipping through the notebook, but he doesn't like turn around. He's still like facing the window. He just kind of reaches over his shoulder, takes the notebook. Still has no idea what all these dead bodies are around.
Just
The
hasn't noticed.
captain was manipulated into murdering his own mining crew.
Oh, yeah, I guess captains are like that, huh? Easily influenced.
I don't believe it's your own fault, other than reaching out to touch something that defies reality with its very existence. But you should know that it was not your decision to attack us.
But I've made other questionable decisions today. I just believed what I saw. I don't know. And Prava turns around now. He's like, "Oh, were these always here?"
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's a lot of bodies.
I don't see
feel
anything.
1, 2, 3, 4. I can see at least 4 dead dudes where I'm standing.
Kuzon's not saying anything. He's just like his face is just like looks disturbed.
Give me one more second.
Oh, there's the 5th one.
As you open the other door, Kuzon, you can see more of that gas from before floating heavy across the ground. One of the robots in the back is walking back and forth, just taking items from one shelf to another.
Is it just like so it's just been sitting here like moving like items from one shelf, other shelf, this shelf. That's just back and forth,
Organization.
over and over. I mean, I would hope that he would be organized by now. At this point, he's just moving boxes.
He has to look busy.
I don't want to enter that room right now. So like it's all gathered here. Were they just like storing loose pieces of ore and everything in there?
It seems like whatever happened here, it probably wasn't intention, since this doesn't look like the ore storage area.
I'm going to go and I apologize. What was the lieutenant's name?
Oh, the lieutenant's name was, I think it was Lieutenant Higgins, wasn't it?
I thought that was Higgins, like Higgins.
Yeah, Higgins. Like, yeah,
Okay.
for some apparent reason, in the 40 minutes I made this map, I gave 2 characters with H's. So
No,
it's Hinge. Yeah, basically it's Hinge and Higgins.
Luke, as I walk in, I'll just say that I'll use my hack to like broadcast his like signature and just be like, Lieutenant Higgins, requesting to hear your understood protocols.
Oh, to the robot?
Yeah, I'm talking to the robot,
Ah.
and just like I'm just basically telling the robot to explain itself. Like
Reorganization of shelves.
Okay. I will command the robot to go into this room.
Which room?
The one up there where the other set of gas is.
Ah, okay. He's got to go up there.
And just like, because I might need it. Here's the thing. If I can control them remotely from this room, I can send them in to just, like, take that bag without sending anybody in there.
True, it doesn't seem like they're as affected as you guys are.
So, like, if there's a place that we need to bag to... You guys just have to help me come up with a plan to destroy it. It's not like an incinerator.
Do you think it can survive the vacuum of space? We just...
I mean, that was my original suggestion, but Thiveron wasn't keen on it.
Remember, you also have a doctor that's in stasis above
He
you.
was just explaining that, like, about knowing more about the aberration because they're so variable. You need to study a little bit. If we're looking for a solution to just kill it outright.
Hmm?
Was that like a laser wall?
Yeah, that seems to be a containment unit.
Okay. I'm thinking out loud. Because like we can just shoot it or burn it. Does fire work?
I mean, if I can make fire. Hey, yeah, why don't we just put it in a pile of the ore and just soak that motherfucker? I can make ice.
This is what I was thinking. Was I could open this door, attempt to vent it, or move it into the cloud, do a set of spark, and just blow the shit out of it.
Yeah, sounds good. Nothing can survive fire.
Well, I believe that we should study it, and I could reach out to its mind, knowing what it is.
I don't recommend that. It's pretty persuasive.
I have a feeling that my arm is the one that's going to get stabbed next.
I understand, but I am a little more experienced with this than you, Prava. I don't mean that to be disparaging.
At being psychic, I've been psychic since I was born.
I don't mean psychic, I mean interacting with the dark mysteries of the universe.
Yeah, you're very optimistic, Prava. I have a feeling you try to make friends with it.
I mean, that's always the first thing to try. It's the easiest solution to
With
everything.
something like this, if we can understand it, then we can kill it, or otherwise prevent it from becoming a threat to anybody else.
So, what's your plan?
I'm going to let Thiveron take the lead. You want to go in
If the
and study it, or do you want me to pull it out of that room? Or attempt to pull it out of that room, I guess.
Well, I was trying to suggest that before we try to physically interact with it, because we don't know what sort of reaction it'll have to that, that I reach out to it and learn what I can first.
Okay, but I'm gonna tie you to a carburetor or something first before I let you do that.
Understandable.
Okay, so plan. Enacting. So you're gonna basically reach out to it. So what do you want to do with Thiveron if he tries to, like, as he's doing this? Did you want to put him in the spell cell or what?
Yeah, I'll do. Actually, that is a good idea. I'll just like be in this room. I'll temporarily we'll just move him into the cell that doesn't have a body in it and like lock it up so that if he goes crazy, he's contained.
Okay then. So, Thiveron, what did you want to do? How are you doing this?
Okay, so he sits down on the bed and takes the goggles that are once again useless to a blind man and puts them on. And then he just reaches out with his mind to whatever will respond to, are you the angel? And what are you?
I'd like you to roll willpower. You can see Thiveron's body start to pace back and forth now. He's gotten off of a bed, almost like a rabid dog walking back and forth between a chain link fence. And Thiveron yourself, you are in contact with something. It's scrambled, near not even understandable in a way, but you do understand the feelings behind it. The very concept of things like fear, paranoia, like being afraid, essentially.
Can I roll a diplomacy check to try and calm it and try to convince it that we're not a threat?
You may share those emotions, yes. You roll diplomacy. And is Prava just looking around at all the bodies, by the way?
Yeah, 12.
Can I actually assist with this, like, telepath? Can I, like, use my telepathic powers to kind of, like, reinforce his... Because, like, I actually get a bonus to diplomacy, specifically to things I'm talking telepathically with. So he's kind of doing my job. Like...
Okay, so would Kuzon lock Prava on the other side?
Oh, wait, did Prava volunteer to help
Yeah.
help with this as well?
You wanted to help. Did you
Oh,
wanna
yeah,
lock
I
him
would
in the other
totally
cell?
put you in the other cell.
Right, so basically, Prava, you're chucked into the other cell.
Okay, yeah.
What I'll do is I'll mark the cells to open in like 5 minutes in case I also go crazy and can't let them out.
Oh, that would be serious. So, yeah.
All three of us become evil, and the other two have to try and destroy us.
Prava, you may roll diplomacy. 18. With Thiveron. So, Thiveron, you're trying to calm
By the
it
way,
down.
still a shit roll. That's with a plus 14 to diplomacy.
Jesus. So, essentially, Thiveron, you're trying to calm this thing down, like the emotions. You're trying to fight back against it, but you can feel it wearing you down. Maybe Kuzon locked you in here to keep you here. Maybe he wants the angel. Yeah, maybe that's the reason. But then you feel like a hand on your shoulder as Prava, you come into the scene. And in this mindscape, you feel both of you trying to calm this thing down. And as it calms down, you're calming down as well. It's not completely calm, but you at least have control of your faculties again in the real world and the mindscape.
Friend, it's okay. We're not here to hurt.
It doesn't seem like it understands really in communication terms, but it's understanding with feelings since it's trying to send the same
Prava
feeling
tries
back.
to like send it the mental image of him and Thiveron holding hands and offering their free hands out to it.
It also, you can not see something, but you can feel something touching your hands in this mindscape, like wrapping around your arms for a moment, and almost relief washing over before you get a desire, freedom.
I think it just wants out, guys. I think it's just scared that it's trapped here.
Now that we've interacted with it, can I roll a mysticism to identify the exact aberration?
You may attempt to roll, yes.
Okay. $28.
This is definitely something very unnatural, as you've already determined. But what type it is, you wouldn't know exactly. It's definitely mentally focused. It definitely has a strong telepathic field about it. But as for what it is, you doubt anybody would know.
Why can't I have good old-fashioned detect alignment? Can I sense motive?
In a way, I guess your mysticism would work that since it's not eating your mind, it's definitely not a devourer of consciousness, which there are creatures like that, so at the very least you know it's not that. If you want to do
Like, can I
sense
tell
motive...
whether or not it was acting in self-defense?
Yeah, if you can make sense motive, and I'll give you a bonus due to your mysticism, and for Prava being there as well.
21 off my normal bonuses.
It was... how to describe it? It's like caging an animal and keeping it there. Essentially, it was scared, panicking, completely.
So it was, in its mind, self-defense.
It wasn't even that. It was literally just feeling these emotions, and well, it's such an alien conscience that it drove everybody insane, is what you could gather.
Right, but I wanted to make sure like it's acting, it was reactionary to what was being done to it rather than it intentionally trying to kill everybody around it.
Yes, it does seem that way. Kind of like Fallout, essentially. Like, it was reacting to what happened to it.
Okay, I'm going to send, because I assume that our minds are linked at this moment, me and Prava. I'm going to send that information to Prava mentally, that it's reacting to what was done to it. And if it's freed, it's not likely to do this intentionally again.
Prava sent it like the vague feeling of sadness at the bodies, but like no blame to the creature. And he kind of just sent it like the mental image of like a spaceship flying away, and he kind of like overlaps the image of this creature joining them on the spaceship.
It seems to just desire freedom.
I'm going to show it kind of like images of open space to see if there's a positive reaction to that.
There is a very positive reaction. It seems like that is a very pleasing reaction. Whatever this creature is, you can probably assume that it lives in space.
I'm just going to ask Prava telepathically, so do we just set it free?
It doesn't seem malicious. I don't see any reason to inhibit it.
I'm going to send feelings of like affirmation. I know it can't understand my language, but
it does seem to understand, like, you're helping, empathy, that sort of thing.
Kuzon's just like sitting here really tensely staring at the computer terminal here.
When he saw that, like, after the initial hostile reaction that Thiveron got, that like both our bodies have calmed down, though, right?
Yes, they have. Yeah, you're in your control of your own faculties in the real world as well.
Okay, so at that, I'm going to break the connection after sending it the like feelings of affirmation. And then I'm going to say, Kuzon, you can let us out now. We know what we have to do.
What do you have to do? He's like looking at you like suspicious.
Like realizing that like
this creature cannot survive the vacuum of space, so we're going to throw it out, and it's going to no longer be a problem.
You have to realize what this looks like from Kuzon's perspective, or like you both like wake up and look and like, Kuzon, we know what we have to do.
like Thiveron immediately realizes, like, oh shit, wait, no.
It's like, wait, no, we mean it.
This creature, it only desires to be free. This murders are entirely incidental to proximity to this alien consciousness being scared after being essentially locked away like a dog in a kennel.
Puns.
Tell me something that only Thiveron and Prava would know.
I mean, it already used coal to manipulate me, so it clearly has some sort of mind-reading powers that would make that information not helpful to you in determining whether or not we are in its control. You know what? I'm just going to shut up. You saved me from a meteorite that used to be my home. We're best friends. We're going to bake cookies later. You don't know that yet, but we're going to.
Prava is unbelievably honest, and it's so amazing. I love it.
One night, you got drunk and wandered off on Epsilon Station.
Okay. I'll let you both out.
Like Thiveron just does not have any really strong emotional like memories with you yet, so he's just like, well,
You're
that's
both
something
there.
weird that happened between us.
So do you want me to just like I can just literally load them onto this craft, lower that shield, and then throw it into space?
I believe that would work.
You could probably get the robot to open up its body bag like containment, put it on it, and yeah, just throw it out into space.
Yeah.
Out to the shields.
I'm not entering the room, but I'll do it remotely from here.
Prava and I communicated with it, and it seemed to grow more trusting of us. So I believe that to be the best decision. For me and Prava to be the ones to move it.
Oh, okay. I'll keep the robots on standby in case it has to punch through anything.
I wholly accept that you probably mean the two of us by something, but I understand your sentiment. I would do the same.
Well, I wouldn't tell the robots to punch you. I'd tell the robots to restrain you, and then I tell it to punch the bag. This is.
It's not gonna come to that, all right? We're gonna let this
Thiveron
be
just kind
okay.
of like nods, like approving of knowing that you wouldn't stab him in the back now. And yeah, he's gonna turn on his environmental protections again, go out here, and walk into this room, past the robots.
All right, so we're gonna do reach and grab a side. And...
Yep. And as we grab the body bag, Thiveron is not going to look inside.
just to make
Well,
sure.
one, because he knows, like, well, at the same time, he feels like he knows this creature more, like, intimately than he would if he were to open it and see what he can perceive. So he doesn't want to open it because he knows what's in there.
Well, Prava does want to see. Prava looks in at this creature in the bag.
One moment. I'm gonna. Somehow reason it's not coming up. It should be, but it's not. Weird. 1 second, let me sort that out.
Don't be a mind flayer. Don't be a mind flayer. Don't be a mind flayer.
Your
Don't
fucking
be a mind
brains.
flayer.
It's like, you can't stop me now.
Mind flayers are so cool.
My players are so cool when they eat your brains.
Yeah, it's part of the
They
reason.
lay the eggs in your brain, and they.
Well, technically, it's
They lay a
tadpoles.
larva. Yeah, they lay a tadpole in your brain, and then the tadpole like eats your brain and takes over your body.
Sounds a good way to get to know somebody.
Literally know more about you than you know about
inside and out.
Right, there we go. I've got it working now. Sorry about that. So, do you look inside, or...
Oh hell yeah! Prava's got boundless curiosity. He's got to see what this thing looks like.
Damn it.
As you open the bag, you suddenly like feel an intense wave almost, like your legs almost give out from under you as the creature slips out, almost so wavy and majestic from the bag. And before you see, like, it's hard to describe, but essentially, well, this, an almost ethereal being, two wavy, almost mantle-like wings beside it as it's staring down towards you, shifting in colors. First it's bright yellow, but then dips down to cold blue as it's floating above you, looking at you. And since Prava, you're taking most interest, it's actually looking towards you, feeling out your mind until it recognizes you. Slowly
Prava
keeps
like
roaming
opens his
around.
mind to it and lets it just like do what it's doing. Lets it look around, poke around, feel around, whatever it's got to do to feel safe.
Essentially, it's like floating around this area.
Yeah.
It's almost silent, ethereal in a way. It's actually
Yeah.
kind of majestic.
Am I getting any like mystical feeling off it here? Is it like if I like let out a wave of graviton energy, does it react to that?
Graviton?
Yeah, I just want to see if like its nature is anything close to like what a Solarian's nature is. You know, I want to see if it reacts to like the fundamental forces of gravity or.
It
I'm
seems
gonna
to
get us
be.
killed.
It doesn't seem to react, but it almost like waves back and forth, like almost as if that little bit of energy was playful to it. It seems much more telepathic than anything.
Okay. Yeah, just kind of stares at it and just kind of leaves his psychic relay opening. You know, it's kind of like being in like a Sheeran community where like most of the communication is like just completely like emotional, wordless, just in like basic concepts and feelings. And he's basically just projecting like, yeah, I'm happy that you're out now. I'm sorry that you had this scary experience.
It seems much more free, it even goes towards you, Thiveron. It's like looking towards you, scanning you, but then recognizing you.
Yeah, I just kind of like do the same thing where I'm like trying to send forward emotions of like requests for like forgiveness for what was done to it.
It doesn't seem to completely understand, but you understand that it's very grateful. It actually brushes against you for a moment, and then you, Prava, before moving towards the shield, you do, as it touches you, you feel revitalized in a way, and you heal up 4 health points as it touches you.
Yeah. Health points, so if I'm only
No,
missing
stamina, sorry.
okay.
Yeah, heal stamina and health. But you didn't take any, since you were good boys and didn't attack and didn't provoke any of the other robots. You can see it floating next to the shield,
Yeah.
looking out expectingly.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Prava,
say over my communicator to Kuzon that he can. Wait, before I do this, is this if I have him release the shield, is it also going to compromise the gravity in the room?
The gravity's separate, but basically if you deactivate the shield, the air will cycle out, so basically make sure you have your helmets on.
And knowing that my communicator has this function, I'm going to record it and live
hell yeah,
stream
hold on.
the video to Kuzon.
Prava runs up to the shield and tries to take a selfie with the angel.
It almost reacts like you're trying to like play with it, and it's like brushing against you now and
Oh
again.
hell yeah! Prava like puts his arm around it and gets like a big like a buddy hug fucking picture, like selfie with the mysterious being. And then Prava checks, does it show up on film? Does it show up on camera?
It does. It looks a little strange, of course, due to its
Yeah.
almost ethereal, see-through nature, but
Prava shows it the picture.
it touches the screen for a moment, like surprised and simply like amazed at what it sees. Like,
And as I'm feeding this video to Kuzon, I'm going to say you can release the shield now.
So is that the cue?
yep.
Yeah.
I'll turn the shielding off.
Right. As you turn the shielding off, it looks towards open space as the air is filtered out and the shielding just vanishes. It's free. You can feel the gratitude and the happiness radiating off of it, even you, Kuzon. Even from there, it's a much different feeling. From scaredness, you feel invigorated. You feel so much stronger now because of these positive feelings. And it's as it starts to fly out of the door, it does for a moment turn around and give Prava, Thiveron, and even a feeling of gratitude towards you, Kuzon, before it flies off into space. Its colour changing from the dark see-through blue to a bright white. And in that moment, you can recognise just why the others of the station called this thing the Angel. As it starts to fly away into the asteroid field, its glowing nature vanishing from one asteroid to another, and eventually the mental effects die down.
Prava stares out into space for a second. He looks serene. He looks calm. He takes a deep breath. I should have gave him my email address.
That was hilarious.
Thiveron just looks at Prava and then he's just gives him like, "Are you serious?"
I want to send him a copy of the picture.
As the shield comes back on and the room fills once more with air, the doors all around the station start opening up once more as the lockdown ceases.
I am kind of while they're like talking, I'll mark the medic guy that's kind of seized inside of his suit in stasis. That's cargo from one of the robots to bring back to the ship. I'll wait until he's in our ship before we kind of try to get him out of that.
Understood. So all the robots start gathering up things that you've marked as cargo and the like. They start moving over. Do you also take robots?
I'll take robots. I
Yeah.
would like robot assistance for the ship.
So essentially, I'm going to give you an inventory of the loot that, of course, you got from those soon.
Yeah.
Of
I love it.
course.
The next session can start with us walking into the ship with people over our shoulder, an army of robots. Loot.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
I
yes.
will. So, like, I'll use the mana. If there's a crew manifest, I'll gather all the names of everybody on the crew, and so that when we can report what happened here, they'll know who the victims are. They can inform their families and stuff.
I like that. So, do you all finally leave this area?
Yeah. Thiveron feels like the story here is ended.
Yeah, we had our emotional catharsis.
The
We met a
story
new
of the
friend.
angel. And
Maybe we'll see a new friend out there somewhere in space someday.
I'm going to say you all did very, very well, and that will conclude this session.
Yay!
That was a cool one-off.
Magic is real now.
Or at least psychic powers are real, either one.
Yeah.